Hey, wait a minute. I'm not talking to the masses here. I don't say these things to make myself look important. I say them directly to you for only one reason. I care. I believe personal integrity is important in this noisy world, and I believe you have the strength and the character to find the truth. It is simpler than you think when you look for it in the right places. I'm not here today to pacify or to entertain you. If you're here to be consoled, you may want to scroll on to more light-minded entertainment. For those who wish to be better equipped for the challenges that lie ahead in view of the signs of the times, let's dive in with 3 things to watch out for as the world rapidly changes around us. Number 1. It is impossible to take away the agency of a self-reliant person. Giving personal responsibility away to others is a form of surrender by choice. It is a cop-out to be used by lazy and ignorant people with a sense of entitlement. There are those who would enthusiastically take your agency for themselves for profit or to establish dominion over you, but they have no authority to take it, and they have no power to take it without the surrender of those they would take it from. Even if they do take it, they eventually find that what they have taken control of is really nothing. For such transference of responsibility by an individual to another is a step toward voluntary extinction. Actually, it is impossible to pass one's personal responsibility to another. It cannot be done unless he or she would rather succumb to personal deterioration and eventually at some point cease to exist. Number 2. There are countless free and low-cost treatments for health and physical maladies. However, having no approval from the establishment that is deeply ingrained and influenced by money for all of those who play the game, they are often eyed with doubt and confusion by an uneducated public. Unfortunately, there are people who will exploit products outside the purview of the regulators without understanding the facts nor representing the truth. Selling snake oil is an old trick that worked on ignorant customers for generations. They may lie a little or a lot, whatever it takes to get your money. On the other hand, even some of the regulators can be compromised for money. A motivation for profit should never override the truth. However, it's easy to compromise a little when profit is your purpose and your most important agenda, and it's easy to gouge your profit from an ignorant and blindly trusting public. Is it fraud? Of course it's fraud. However, in this world as we have come to know it, a bit of fraud is now viewed by a lot of politicians and enterprises as standard business practice, but it is a losing proposition in the long run. Such practice, whether regulated or not, will always end up in a wreck at the end of the road. Integrity is the only way for long-term survival. Number 3. What is wrong with invasive technologies such as natural cures, air purification, pollution-free energy from water, or other alternatives to common practices? Well, it largely boils down to the fact that they interfere with the same income stream of established banking, petroleum, insurance companies, and medical professionals, and they're quite often not expensive enough to provide significant revenue in the Keynesian system. Tax and spend and the velocity of money are important to sustain the Ponzi scheme. I have more to say about that, but right now I want you to hear about a new and innovative product made especially to keep you and your family free from harmful airborne pathogens in your entire home, office, or workspace. People are rapidly catching on to this exciting new invention. I am proud to sponsor it on the Ike Pickett Show. Here's why.
Ever feel like your home's air is a chaotic mosh pit of dust and allergens? Isavac Ideal Atmospheres is the backstage pass to pure allergen-free air. Just plug it in, set the timer, and let it work its magic. No rocket science degree needed. Its super air vac tech and sleek design make it the VIP of air purifiers. Breathe easy everywhere in your home without breaking the bank. Remember, no filter changes required. Level up your air game. Grab yours today at isavac.com.
If you feel good at home, you're not going to the doctor for anything. Consequently, disease preventive practices are generally opposed to by many professionals and experts in the medical world. Your doctor is not likely to recommend or even approve an unfamiliar treatment for your condition because he has not been made familiar with it by the sales representatives of pharmaceutical companies, nor by his medical education. Colleges and universities have been largely compromised by the grants and donations they receive from government and corporations with special interests. Don't let such indoctrination hold you back in a box that has been established to keep you from upsetting their prestige and importance. Let me sum this up in this way. Informed choice and responsibility are of the same substance. We have an obligation to be informed. We have the responsibility to act on what we learn. It is essential for self-reliance and the purpose for which we were created, with the right to choose for ourselves. Freedom of choice is useless without action. A stable society requires a good deal of personal responsibility and also discernment of the citizens. Everyone cannot become an expert in everything, but those things that affect a person's life, character, and well-being, a person has to be personally responsible and truthfully committed in and of himself, regardless of the opinions and recommendations of others, expert, philosophical, religious, or otherwise. To succumb to the authority of another without question makes you a loser, not a victor. We have the capacity to know the truth of all things for ourselves. All we have to do is subscribe as instructed to the only source of pure truth, even God himself. Remember these words from an anonymous poem. Know this, that every soul is free to choose his life and what he'll be. For this eternal truth is given, that God will force no man to heaven. Freedom and reason make us men. Take these away, what are we then? Mere animals, and just as well. The freedom to choose is nothing without the responsibility to do it. Freedom without action and endurance is a resignation to be controlled by the opposition. I'm Gary Isaacs for the Ike Pickett Show. The world has been infiltrated with resigned and uninformed victims. If you want to remain truly free, don't you become a victim. I'll see you again soon. In the meantime, I want you to enjoy your life 24/7, knowing that your integrity and your savings are in your own custody.